coming at you guys with another video. Hey, how is everyone doing? This is my third day of not working because either nothing's available or they're 30 minutes away from me and they want me to pick up the phone and get out of the house at 7:30, knowing that I'm going to be late to work by a good 5-10 minutes. I'm going to be talking about a book review called The Trials of Apollo, and this is the last book in the series, the 5-part series, called The Tower of Nero. As you guys may or may not know, Nero was an emperor in Roman times. He was the famous emperor who fiddled his violin as Rome burned. I remember my 11th grade topic where I was asked to write whether Rome crumbled because of inside forces, or was it the outside forces that led to Rome's ruin? Now, my answer, Mr. Zuckerman, if you're ever watching this, is that it was both factors. For example, Emperor Nero, he was power hungry. He killed his mother. And while matricide was punishable by death, or killing was punishable by death, rather, he still had supporters. He still had legions of followers who were willing to die for him, to follow his every command. And so he was also unaware or cavalier to the fact that many Roman citizens were impoverished. They didn't have food at oftentimes. And then you've also had Christians coming in. You've had other groups of people coming in trying to take down Rome because Rome was a huge empire at the time. So, this is set in modern day where the god Apollo, if you haven't heard me blather on about this before, Apollo in book 1, he's being punished for something that Zeus pursued him to do at the end of the Heroes of Olympus series. So Zeus has cast him to Earth to live as a mortal and to fix whatever is going on. Which ends up being the fact that his oracles are not receiving any prophecy. And if they are, they're being tampered with. So towards the 5-part series, he has to defeat what is called the Triumvirates, a group of bad men, all from Roman Greek times, because, and now this is actually Roman and Greek, because while Rome and Greece shared the gods, they changed the names. For example, Aphrodite was Venus, Ares was Mars, Zeus was Jupiter, Poseidon was Neptune, Hades was Pluto. Apollo, actually, remains. He did not have a different personality. He was always the god of music, poetry, medicine, and such. And so he has to figure out, and he really is going on a reckoning of himself. And the way he's doing that is with his young demigod friend, Meg McCaffrey, who has a large part to play in the series, because it turns out that she knows the enemy. She knows the big bad, who is her stepfather. And her storyline arc is really about how she's overcoming years of trauma and abuse that she suffered by the Beast, aka Nero. And Apollo, who I'm very surprised because, he starts off very vain and narcissistic and just a general nuisance. He understands firsthand that Nero is not a good person. And he's seeing that Meg has been traumatized to the point that she doesn't even open up. So this is in a larger context. But in this book, everything is coming to an end, and he's finally gotten the big bag, and past friends such as Nico D'Angelo and Will Solis, who is his own son, will have a large part to play in the final book. What I really liked about this book is that Apollo's transformation from being vain and narcissistic comes full circle in the sense that she learns some humility. And he realizes that, especially when it mattered the most, was that it was never other people's fault that he was in trouble. He was in trouble, or there was trouble surrounding him because he was never able to get out of his own way. And he just needed to realize that. His father, Zeus, who at times Apollo compared to Nero, the king of kings, the god of gods, realized that, Zeus is a tyrant. And while Meg is able to get away from Nero, himself as the son of Zeus, is not going to be able to get away. But he comes to accept it. He comes to realize that there is humility, and there is a certain type of melancholy to being a human. He says that human lives, in the point of view of a god, is so short. Their lives are over in a blink of an eye. But we, gods, we have been around for centuries. And, and that in of itself is one of the causes of his arrogance. And Apollo just has to learn how to be a human being, really. And this isn't the first time he's been cast out of Olympus. He has been cast out many times. But this time around, the world is literally depending on him, and he has to fix his mistakes for the final time. I rated this book 5 stars. It was beautiful. I could not find any faults in this, which is very surprising. I think Rick Riordan, what he does spectacularly. While he may not be great with continuity, because sometimes he changes a little teeny tiny thing, he's excellent with representation. And he said several times that many of the characters, the demigods, they're taken from real life. They are taken from the names of his students. For example, Nico was a past student of his, and he writes about LGBTQ issues, he writes about homeless teens. One scene, he had a demigod in a wheelchair fighting. Whoa! Wait, that's amazing for representation. For people, especially middle school-age kids, who think that they are not seen, Rick Riordan sees them. And I'm sorry to say, J.K. Rowling does not do that. Not to talk about the turf, but why not? well, she has created an excellent series that will stand up for many, many people. She doesn't do representation well, you know? And we've seen this time and time again. And Rick Riordan, she says, and even if someone points out, like, say, Raina, who is from Camp Jupiter? Oh, no, she's from the Roman camp. And she decides to go to, spoiler alert, she goes to join the Hunt. And while her sexuality was never revealed, someone pointed out on Twitter, like, hey, maybe she's asexual. And Rick Riordan says, hey, I never realized that. That was never my intention, but if this is what you're saying, and this is how you interpret it, then it is true for you. And for whoever. And that is so freaking brilliant. You know, you have moments of pure amazement. And you guys know I came on to Riordanverse last April, and I finished up this book. I have read, at this point, all of his series, you know, in October, and it is so freaking brilliant, you know. This has been 18 years in the making, and it's so wonderful. In the series, he also hinted at another possible series, which, I don't know if this is going to be a standalone, but he is working on Irish mythology next. Because he did do part of his education in Ireland, and he is of Irish descent, or Irish heritage. He also introduced other elements in here. Oh, he also introduced the fact that there may or may not be a standalone novel of Nika D'Angelo and Will, because that is what was hinted at towards the end. Freaking brilliant. Oh my god. Oh my god. I love it. I have nothing but glowing praises for Rick Riordan, for Apollo, who truly, truly changed so much. Like, I remember reading the first book. I blew it out of my mind. So oh my god, I do not like this character. I do not like this character. But hey, other characters from past series are here. Let's read, you know? And it's so freaking brilliant. And then, little by little, Apollo starts going on me. Freaking amazing. I highly recommend you guys to, if you guys haven't, read all of Riordanverse, which is right there. And for Percy Jackson going all the way to this, Trials of Apollo. And I am positive that you will love this as much as I did. Alrighty, I shall see you guys next time. I'm going to do another video. It's filming day, y'all. And, here's a little clip of Nico right here. Oh, he's asleep. He's been left by the door. It's so funny. He has a lovely pen with a very comfortable mattress, as well as a donut bed, and yet he chooses to sleep on the floor. My mom said that it's because the floor is cooler, and he is sleeping somewhere near the fan as well, so that helps. Alrighty, I shall see you guys in the next video. Comment, like, subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. If you guys haven't, hit the bell icon for notifications. Check back, because I do post videos often. And, yeah. I will see you guys next time. Bye!